I say this somewhere in the video, but I'm talking in like a whisper, 'cause I recorded this at like midnight and my mom and brother were sleeping and I didn't want to wake them.
Okay, so I hope you guys are all having a good day, good week, good month, good year, good whenever you're watching this. I think I burned myself out. Um, and this isn't a physical burnout. This is a mental burnout. Like my brain itself has been on overdrive. All year I haven't been able to kind of focus on anything. Like not focus. This year I haven't been able to process anything. Like I've had so much thrown at me this year that I never processed it fully. And it's currently like 12:09 in the morning. And I'm barely making this video. Like the entire year has been shit. And I mean, politically, most of all, it's been shit. Mentally, physically, and emotionally for me has been shit. And then in my personal life as well, it's just been chaos. With everything, my medical stuff, my own mental health, and then, you know, I don't really know how to explain any of it. Like I recorded uh almost an hour full of gameplay that I just basically sped up. So we have like about 51 minutes and 7 seconds to get through everything, or to get through this video. If not, then I'll shorten this video and go from there. But I gave myself ample time to record this. Let me turn this off. I don't like the way that is glaring at me. There we go. So where to start? I guess we can just start at the burnout part of it, I guess. To be honest with you, the way my brain works, it's like, the way I think of it is like, or the way I'm gonna put it as, think of it like a hamster wheel. You know, sorry, I need water. Think of it like a hamster wheel. Basically, it's like the hamster goes around and around and around and around on a wheel, basically, right? That is how my brain works. It is constantly in motion. Like it never slows down enough for me to process anything. And that might be ADHD. I don't know. I'm undiagnosed of that. If I have that at all, I'm pretty sure I do. But at the time when I was being evaluated for mental health, they didn't think it was a good idea. So, undiagnosed if that is the case, which would make sense for a lot of things. Anyways, where was I? you see how my brain went from one thing to another. So my brain kind of just moves from one thing to another. I don't necessarily think I've ever had a moment where my brain doesn't move a million miles a second. It has been something that I've always done, or it's been something that's always done. If you were to ask me, like, when I'm ever relaxed, in like mentally relaxed, I mean, yeah, no, I could not tell you. My brain is constantly thinking about um anything. I can't even, like, I've learned to sit through things, if that makes sense. Um so let's take a movie for example. If I were to go to a movie, like, you wouldn't notice my brain is working a million miles a second. It would be like anything any normal person would be doing, like watching the movie or just paying attention to the movie, basically. um, but in my brain, how it works, it's constantly thinking about what's going to happen next, or it moves from one scenario in the movie to another, and then back and forth, back and forth. It's always it's always moving, and it's always gotten to a point where, like, I can mask it. Um, I don't I don't think anyone's ever noticed how quickly my brain does jump from one thing to the next. And I think I've managed it pretty well. But in terms of like processing anything emotionally or mentally, um like, my emotions are shot. um you think of it um like when a sad part in a movie comes on, like, I know what emotion I should have, and like, I can show it, but that is like not really what I'm feeling, if that makes sense. So my like I said, my emotions are shot. They I'm not sure when that happened or how that happened, but they kind of are fried. Um and I think it's mainly because as a child, I there was so much shit going on that I used up every emotional token, if you call, if that's what I can call it. Um that now as an adult, um like, I know what they are, but if you but if I were to explain it to you, those emotions, or like the aspect of what I show, um aren't really what they equate to, if that makes sense. Like I said, if it were a sad part in a movie, like, I know what I'm supposed to do, I know when I'm supposed to cry or feel sad, but like, I don't feel it, if that makes sense. I don't know. Um Anyways, Jesus Christ. See, we go from mental stuff to emotional stuff. My brain is like now bouncing between the two. I'm down. Jesus Christ. I hate my brain sometimes. Um And I mean, for myself this year too, eh, I deal with a lot of shit, basically. Um, Seasonal depression is a bitch. This year though hasn't really been that bad. Usually around October, mid September, late October, early October. I mean, is when like the depression takes a hold. This year though, from what I can tell, it's either because I've just been too mentally exhausted to even deal with it or care, or whatever. But this year, I can say with full certainty that depression is not even a factor, which is great, and I'll take it. Pretty sure you can also see the dark circles under my eyes. I hit my microphone. So so I don't sleep as much. Or the sleep that I do get is very minimal. Um, I'm usually in bed between 12 and 3, 3-ish, somewhere around 3 a.m. I usually fall asleep. I get about maybe 6 or 5 hours of sleep each night, which isn't bad. Like, I'm used to it. It's not that bad. I don't really need 8 to 9 hours or anything more than that to function. To think, probably. But to function normally, I don't need to sleep that much. I think it I think as I got older, and this is probably just me because I fucked up my sleep cycle a long time ago. Once I got out of high school, and once I got out of a routine, to say, my sleep schedule was kind of non-existent at that point. Um, and then you know, so I'm awake from about 12 to about 3 in the morning, either looking at the ceiling or trying to make my mind shut off, whether that's just mindlessly scrolling through TikTok, social media, whatever, or just completely shutting off all electronics except for my music, because that does actually help me sleep. But I don't, like, in the morning, like, I don't feel as tired. And here's the thing, if I get about 8 or 9 hours of sleep or more, then I am super tired. I am out of it. Like, I feel too exhausted to even do anything. And I mean, that's kind of normal for me, but when I get like 10, anywhere from 9 to 10 hours of sleep or more, yeah, no, if I'm gonna be doing something, then I won't do that. Like, I just won't be able to. Um, so it's not that I'm not getting enough sleep. I think what it is that I'm like I said, my mind is always on, so there's no there's no way I can actually turn it off on its own. And maybe it's because I'm so focused on content that I've been neglecting the aspect of, hey, you should probably shut your electronics off at a certain time and be in bed at a certain time to try and see how that will affect you for about a week or however long you think it will. Because like I said, I'm I'm up till about 12 to 3 a.m. If that's, whether I'm editing a video or just playing a game that I got really engrossed in, like this one. I get engrossed in Tapalia very easily, so I can lose track of time, and I don't, and I blame myself because I know when I lose track of time or when I get engrossed in a game, time slips away from me. So that's my fault. But it's not like when you're exhausted, like when you need sleep. It's not like that. It's like I said, it's mental exhaustion. I've pushed my brain too far, or it's pushed itself too far, to the point where now my brain is like, the hamster's gone. It's not there anymore, but the wheel is still spinning. It is still moving. So that is weird to think, because where the fuck did the hamster go? And basically it like I know my brain is probably fucked up. It's bad. Like, it's bad, and I'm not even gonna question it anymore, because at this point I don't know what my brain is. I don't know. It's moved so fast. It's processing things quickly, that, or I can't even say that it's processing anything. I think it's just moving between one thing to another. Um, and I'm speaking quietly because I have family that is sleeping, so I'm trying to not be too loud, and wake them, because again, it is almost, well, it's almost 12:30 in the morning. Um, and that's the other thing. It's like, I do better at night than I do in the morning, so that might also be an issue, or not. Either way you look at it, I don't know, because I was trying to record this earlier, and for the life of me, my brain or my mouth, like anything that I was trying to explain, did not make sense. I kept rambling. I kept, like, I'm rambling now, but at least it's kind of cohesive. Kind of. Um but I mean, like, I don't think my brain has had a moment, at least this year, to process everything, because you're like, we've been thrown all this information throughout the year. And I'm not even going to get into any of that, because, to be honest with you, politics fucking stupid. And they suck. I'm gonna say that, and that's it. So I don't I don't think I've had a moment to kind of process everything, both in my own life and in terms of like the medical jargon that I've been thrown. Um, Earlier this year, I was referred out to a genetic specialist. Now, my insurance was a bitch, and it refused to work with me. I finally had gotten the referral that I needed to see someone out in Orange County, I believe. And like, I only had one visit with this doctor, but it took months of arguing with insurance, making sure that my other doctor was on top of everything, making sure that this genetic specialist knew all the information, had everything in order. I didn't end up seeing this person until, so mind you, I had them already in my insurance and approved back in February. I think it was mid January, early February, something like that. We were 2 months in to the year, and I already had them booked and everything. I wasn't able to get to see them until September. We are now in November. So between, so I'm going to say March, April, May, June, July, August, September. So we were 7 months in, almost, yeah, 7 or 8 months in to the year by the time I was already able to see them. Why did my camera move down? Weird. We were already, yeah, 7 or 8 months into the year before I actually even got to see them. And I've only seen them once. I've only seen them once, so that's already frustrating. And then, not even around March, I think it was March, when one of my medications that I was taking for my diabetes, I'm type 2 diabetic. I don't talk about that much because it's just, you know, diabetes suck. They're stupid. Your body's being a bitch. Your body's being a bitch. Because it, like, what do you mean my pancreas isn't making the thing it's supposed to be making, right? So, being type 2 diabetic is stupid. Being diabetic in general is fucking stupid. And don't even get me started on type 1, because they have it worse. Type 1 diabetics have it worse. And I'm not even going to argue with anyone that says type 2 diabetes are just as bad. No, they're not. No, they're fucking not. Anyways, so one of the medications that I was taking, when we upped the dosage on it, it was the Ozempic. So I was at the second to lowest dosage that they could give. When they upped the dosage at that time, my body, I don't know if it rejected the medication or if whatever was in the medication affected my body worse or made me sick. I don't know what happened between my body and that medication. Like, I genuinely do not know. But when dealing with everything with that medication, it got to a point where for about a month to 2 months, I want to say about 2 months, probably less. I'm not really too sure. Don't really remember. Around that time, the medication made me feel so bad to the point where I was physically ill. Like, it felt like I was physically ill. I couldn't keep any food down. I couldn't eat. Like, I kid you not, I went almost a month, no food. I was not hungry. I was not, like, I genuinely had an aversion to food, which was weird because there were instances where I could eat small amounts of food. So I wasn't really going without food. But, like, if I were to have breakfast, dinner, whatever, like, let's just say we started on a Monday, right? Monday, I have breakfast. I can go all day Monday with no food. So I can skip lunch, dinner. Monday, no food. Tuesday, I won't eat breakfast. I'll have lunch. Tuesday, like, I skip every other day's meal, like in between meals, right? So there was times where I would not eat because my body was full. My body felt like it was full. And when I did eat, or when I tried to eat, I would throw up. I would feel physically and like just ill, like a nasty sickness. Um so when I talked to my doctor, she didn't really know what to do because that medication before she upped the dosages was working pretty well. It was working well. You know, my sugars were under control. My A1C was about not great, but it was better. I believe it was at an 8.7, which if it if I were to explain to you where my A1C was at before, goddamn. At one point, I think my A1C was constantly at a 12, which isn't good. It's pretty bad. So the Ozempic, and I'm on like a bunch of medications. So Ozempic, metformin, Jardians, and then 2 other insulins. So that's five medications just for diabetes. That's how bad they are, or they were. When I started a new medication called Jardians, it got way better. Way better. Got to the point where now I only need to take the Jardians and my metformin maybe once or twice a week, if not a day, depending on how well my sugars are in the week or the month or whatever. So compared to about from February to March or February to April, one of the two, I don't really remember. Jesus Christ. It was bad. It was bad. And it sucked because I think I went to the hospital once or twice because I thought I was not, like, it felt like my body was just rejecting itself. That's how bad it got. So I went to like the hospital once or twice because of the medication. That's how bad it was. And then continuing with the medical stuff, it just got worse from there. I got to a point where like that's all I focused on. I was focused on the doctors. I was focused on making sure I got my blood work done. I did everything that I needed to do before I went to see the doctor, and make sure that things were in order. So my mind kind of, instead of, I guess, processing all of it, decided that it would be best to just dump it into what I call the black hole of forgotten memories. And I say it's a black hole, but eventually that thing is going to burst again, like it always does once it gets too full. And I think that I think now is that time. Because I like I'll know when I feel it, or like when I feel it's about to break. I think it was last week. I kind of felt a crack in that liminal space where it was like, okay, it's getting full, you moron. Fix it, right? Anyways, so it was about a week ago that I finally figured out like something was wrong with me mentally. I mean, obviously something is obviously wrong with me mentally, but more so than usual. More so than usual. And like I'm not even joking. when I tell you that when I figured it out, I was like, well, fuck me. right? Because it's like I was doing so good all year. I was doing so good. I maybe had one or two mishaps, but they were minimal and they were manageable. But no, here we are. And then, so, like, medically, I'm fucked. I'm fucked. I know that. There's nothing new there. So that doesn't surprise me, and the medical stuff doesn't scare me anymore. As a kid, it did, but I mean, as I got older and as I got older and as I understood everything in terms of like things happen, put it that way. So YouTube doesn't really get too angry with me there. Basically, to the point where, you know, at some point I'm not going to be here. So that's it's nothing scary. It's nothing new. So that's medically I'm fucked. So moving on from that, and then personally, it's like I'm not not even gonna lie, I'm poor. So being poor is a bitch. Being disabled is a bitch. It's a double whammy at that point. So I can't work, not by choice. But I physically can't work. One, because I have too many medical issues, so I don't know when or if my schedule will ever be clear enough for work. And then on top of that, my body is just fucking shit. Like it pops, cracks, fizzles. Like I kid you not. It feels like I'm a glow stick. Because every little movement I do, pop, or crack, or fizzle, or whatever. And that's just one aspect of it. Like I know my body's fucked up. From what or how, I don't know. Because as a kid, I was careful. As careful as a kid could be. But I was careful. And then, I got to a point where like it was there. All right, I guess. So, yeah, no, being poor and being disabled fucking sucks. Because like I want to help my family and I do help in ways because I get disability, social security, and then I get food stamps, so that helps with my family. But that only goes so far. And that leads me into why I'm making this episode, or I guess part of the reason why I'm making this. Not episode. Like, I'm not asking for help. I'm not going to ask for help. No. So, no. Just no. What I'm saying is, like, I've been doing YouTube since about 2019. I didn't start doing YouTube seriously until about last year or the year before. And then, before that, I'm not even going to get into before that because the shit that I posted before I actually got it seriously, it was horrible. It was horrible. I was a wreck. I hated myself even more than I did before. or I do now, basically. It got to a point where it might, like content was depressing. I'm not even gonna lie, it was depressing. So, like I said, I didn't start getting into YouTube until about 2 years ago, or like last year, or something like that. And grinding YouTube has showed me that it's not easy. It is not easy. Because, like, if you're not continuously posting on YouTube or on any platform, you're never going to grow. Which, I mean, considering that I post, or I normally post on Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and that, like, time frame, I try to post consistently on those times or those days within the time of like 10 to 11, about 10, 11:45, between that time. I try to consistently post those 3 days between those three times, or those times, right? But again, if you're not posting consistently, then you're not going to grow. And I know that's part of like YouTube and doing content, right? That's nothing, I've known that. That's old news. What I'm saying is, like, the aspect of like needing to post on a regular basis, it sucks. Because, like I said, I don't post regularly. I don't post every day. Whether that be actual videos or shorts. So I don't post often. And when I do, I don't want it to be just any other content. Like, I want it to feel like I worked on it. You know what I mean? So when I do my videos, I try not to make videos on the same, like, every day. Like, right, I don't try to make three or four videos like anymore on the same day. So let's just say I made a video on Monday. Normally I would have done, like, I think I did at one point make videos like for 1 week on the same day. Like, every video that I did was either within that day or within that week. And that burned me out. I know that burned me out because when I did finish, I think I went away for a month. Like, I got so exhausted that I left. So it's not that burnout. It's not like that. It's the mental aspect of it. It's like, just, the brain is turned off. And going, god damn it. So, bringing it back to the whole YouTube situation, like I said, I don't post regularly. I don't post that often. I post on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. If I can, or if I have a video, or, whatever the situation be. I try, and I fail a lot. So, doing YouTube, doing content is not easy, and it's not. No, I don't want to say fun. I don't want to say it's not fun. It is fun, honestly. Doing content, creating videos, is fun. Editing videos, however, is a bitch. because it takes up most of my time. I work on one video. So let's just say I made a video right now. Once I'm done recording said video, um if it's not already edited like this is, I will spend an entire day editing one video because my brain does not work normally. Throughout the day, I need to be doing other things or my brain will not function. So while I'm editing, I'll either have a YouTube video on one screen and my recording on the other, or my editing on the other. And I've noticed that I get distracted so fucking easily that if I don't have music or something other than the editing software open, I will completely shut off. Like my brain will not function and I cannot focus on editing anything. So I have to continuously get up, move around, or do something else to then get myself back into the rhythm of editing. So it takes me an entire day to edit a video down to where I want it to be or to where I kind of feel it's good enough to be, right? So editing is a bitch and I hate it. But content creation has shown me that it takes a lot of work. Being a content creator and posting things online takes a lot of work. Growth is not easy. That is not easy. And I knew that from the very start. Like, I knew I was not going to blow up instantly. I'm not like other gamer YouTubers. Markiplier, Jacksepticeye. I don't think Jack does. Does he still do games? I think he does. But I'm not I'm not likable, if that makes sense. I don't know. Maybe I am, maybe I'm not. I don't know. I don't freaking know. But basically what I'm saying is I knew that I was gonna have to work. I knew I was gonna have to work on it. I knew I wasn't gonna get not recognized. I mean pushed out to the algorithm or to YouTube itself easily. So that is something that I kind of wish that I did better, because I don't know what I'm supposed to do in terms of not just posting a video, right? I've had other like on Discord, I've talked to some people and they're all like, I know where they're coming from. I know that they mean well. But when I ask like what is it that I should be doing, right? One of the people that I've talked to, I feel like they don't really understand what I'm asking because they go in circles. Like I think one of the times they gave me some weird ass bot name. I don't know. It was weird. It was weird. Anyways, I knew content creation was not going to be easy. Um like we just hit 100 subscribers on like last month, I think. Was it last month or month before? I think it was in October. We hit 100 subscribers in October, and I was happy. I was like, wow, okay, big milestone. To me, that's a big milestone, at least. 100 subscribers is like a big deal. But here's the thing. Like, I don't know if it's the content that I post or if it's just the engagement. I don't know. Because like I have 100 subscribers. But the thing is, I don't see the numbers in the views. I had the subscribers, but not the views. So when I post something, like I'll be the first one to view the post. Like I've always been the first one to view the post. But the numbers don't add up in terms of views. So that's kind of disheartening. And it's gotten to a point where I kind of don't look at analytics anymore. I don't look at analytics anymore because that just makes me feel worse. If that makes sense. So when I check the analytics, it's because I do get a notification that tells me something's changed or something's been added. If that makes sense. And it's weird because looking at the analytics for anything, whether that's on TikTok, YouTube, Twitch. I don't use Twitch, honestly. I haven't used Twitch in a while. It's been a year. I think I should start doing Twitch again, honestly. That's another idea for another time. Not here. God damn it. What was I getting at again? Oh, right. The analytics. I've noticed that looking at the analytics for myself has not tanked my not perspective, self-esteem. But when I look at it too much is when I start to feel that self-esteem kind of wear down. I would like, and this is a reach because we're almost at the end of the year, to be at 1,000 followers, because that would be an immense help for me, because that's something that I've been wanting to reach. And I know it's going to take time. I already know that, but I would like a little bit of help, because that would be greatly appreciated. Even if you don't watch the stupid videos that I post. If you don't watch the videos, that's fine. To me, that's not the important thing, right? It does help, but that's not important. What is important is when I get to a certain point, I want to build a community of people, I want to make this something more than it is, or than it already is, basically. Because I want, like I'm not gonna lie, I've said this before. I know that you can make money off of YouTube, and that would be something that's a goal of mine, to make make money off of YouTube, doing content, creating content, posting it, doing all these things. Because at the end of the day, it's not just for me. It isn't just for me. It's for my mom, my brother, my sister, my niece, my nephew, my entire family. This isn't a selfish reason. This is a bigger reason than just myself. I want to give something that I've always wanted to do for my mom, because she's never had that. I want to have her own home. We are so used to renting houses, apartments, or whatever, right? And that's one of the things that I've wanted to do for my mom is let her buy her own home. But I'm like I've said, I'm disabled, so I can't work. I want to work, but I can't. There's too many health complications, and I would possibly be a risk for work because of these health complications. Is it ideal? No. Do I want to work? Yes. Do I want to kick everyone in the ass for saying that I should get a job? Yes. My younger brother included. But that's not the point. It's not easy. And it's not fair. But it is what it is, you know? But if I can do YouTube full time, make money off of it, build a community, make it something more than it already is, that's what I would want. I will catch you guys next time, and I'll see you guys in our next episode or video when I do post it. This is gonna end right now, but I wanna talk a little bit more about the things. Look, I don't know if going away for a month is a good idea. I don't. It's not an easy thing, because I know if I go away for a month, my analytics is gonna be shit. But feeling the burnout that I do, it's not the physical burnout. It's not physical. It's like, I've already established that. It's a mental burnout. Like, I feel mentally drained, exhausted, tired, frustrated, everything. So I don't know if going away from December to January, coming back in January, is a good idea. I'm gonna mull it over, kind of, and then I think in December, I'll post a video or I'll post a short with this in mind, and then go from there. I'm thinking that I'll probably post a video for the update of Paleo when that does come out, and probably an episode or two. But I don't think I'm gonna post that often in December. I'll try to post as much as I can in December, but I think I need to work on my mental health already, because it's starting to fray. So with that being said, I will catch you guys next time. I hope you guys have a good day, good week, good month, good year, go whenever you're watching this. And that's it for me. Bye. Lastly, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the post notification bell so you never miss a video when I post. To the right of your screen will be a video that YouTube thinks you'll like. To the left of your screen will be a video that I've posted. With all that being said, I hope you guys have a wonderful week, day, month, year. Whenever you're watching this, stay healthy, stay happy, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!